All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're in BJ's garage, not Mike's garage, this is BJ's garage. My buddy needs a battery change in his 2018 Chevy Silverado 1500. And this is only, what, about 3.5 years old, right?
About 3.5, yep.
Yeah, so batteries are not lasting that long. When you live in extreme climates, you know, we've had really hot summer, we have cold winters. When you have those extreme climates, it just wears out the battery a lot quicker. So we're going to replace this. There's kind of some steps involved in this process, so that's why I want to do a video. But BJ, talk about kind of the symptoms you've had leading up to this point.
Yeah, the good thing about the Chevy, it does give you a few warnings. They're not great, but yeah, it did tell me that the battery is low, and as soon as it says that, it says start immediately your vehicle. But so that happened. We went out to baseball practice, and then we were done playing baseball. I actually did a few things. I didn't realize the battery was in poor health at that time, and I did a few things on my phone using Bluetooth while the engine was off, and then it wouldn't start after that, and so I had to get it jumped. Drove home overnight, and then I had to go to work the next day, and it did start, but I mean it was a struggle. It did a few and then it fired up finally, and it did the same thing after I left work. So and I got to Costco, and I decided to get the battery at Costco. They have a good battery program there, and they're relatively low prices, good batteries, and they warranty them for 3 years. So I figured I'd get the Costco battery. So I got the Costco battery, and we're ready to change it out.
And we were also talking about whether it has a warranty on it. So these vehicles usually have, like from the factory, 3 years, 36,000 mile, kind of bumper to bumper. Had it gone out during that time, it probably would have been covered.
I think so, yeah.
But we're outside that period, 3.5 years. So so probably not much of a warranty left on the battery anyway, so you're kind of on your own on these. And then when you get at places like at Costco, you're obviously going to install it yourself. If you go to the auto parts store, I'm not sure if they would help you with an in-depth installation like this, because there's a lot more involved than just undoing the terminals, put them back on. So let's get started. We're gonna show you kind of step by step how this process is going to go, the tools you need, and let's get started. All right, so we pop the hood, get the hood open. Here on the passenger front, here's the battery, and here's the challenge of this battery is there's this brace right here in the way. The battery's kind of tucked up under the firewall, and this coolant reservoir is also in the way. So we're wondering if we're going to have to remove or loosen up this coolant reservoir. We're definitely going to take off the brace.
And so first step, we're going to take the negative terminal off, and we're going to be using a 10 mil socket for that. And then the second step, we're going to take this bracket off, and then we're going to mess with the battery top. So here we go.
All right, negatives out of the way. All right, 13 millimeters are, so all three is 1, 2, and 3 are all 13 millimeters. For the battery itself, there's actually just a little 13 millimeter. You just need an extension to get down there. All right, this is just a little block that holds the battery on the side there, so you can see how that just goes in like that.
We're going to take this little plastic cover off. If I could do that.
Looks like it's just held with clips on the side.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, positive terminal off there, just 10 millimeters. All right, the positive terminal is off. We just removed that, set that aside here. And then there's also a clip on the side. This clip, we just push down that little clip, pull the connector off, and then there's also a cable that's on there. We want to remove those two so that way we can fold this up and out of the way. We leave those intact and then just fold this out of the way so we can scoot the battery out.
Yeah, and there's a clip here, a clip here, and a clip here. So if we unclip all those, then this top just comes off. This is not battery, it's just the electrical system. We just move it off to the side, then we can get the battery out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we removed this clip. Now we've just got these 3 plastic clips. I can do these, I unclip these with my hand, so that's good, that one's good. And this one's still clipped in. You probably just need a screwdriver to get it out. There we go.
All right, it's not possible to remove the battery with the coolant reservoir right here, so it needs to be loosened and removed or just moved out of the way. So there's just a bolt here. There's a 10 millimeter bolt. It's actually underneath the air box next to the reservoir down at the bottom. I just used a long swivel socket adapter, and I was able to get there and remove it with the impact driver. And then there's one here on the back side by the battery, and that one's also 10 millimeter. You can see that bolt right there. Both of those bolts removed, the coolant reservoir will just slide out of the way. You can just lift it up and it will provide access to remove the battery. Alright, before we put the battery back in, I'm going to use this battery cleaner spray to spray on the terminals. Use a wire brush to scrub the terminals, get any corrosion, any acid off those. And then I'm also going to clean up this area here. This battery tray is kind of dirty. Get a vacuum out, clean that out. Okay, the coolant reservoir is bolted back in. It's helpful to have this long wobble extension to get the socket down in there to get that screw, because it's back behind this air box a little bit and you need that little extension to be able to get the socket onto the screw. Once you have that, we can get this electrical panel put back over on the top of the battery, the positive terminal back in, the electrical harness getting screwed back in. But first we're going to get the block on the side of the battery that holds it in place.
Okay.
Placing the plastic cover over the battery now. Okay, quick reminder on this brace, it goes underneath the metal tab here, and then it goes underneath the metal on the firewall side. All right, with the negative terminal put back in place, everything bolted back up. We're good to start it back up. The truck fired right up. Everything was great. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully this was helpful. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. See the links in the description below. See you in the next one.